Happy Monday. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend, and you're pumped and excited, and refreshed, and ready to go for the week. Um, Today I got my Batman shirt on. Actually, my mentor and coach, we actually call him Batman, but little does he know that I was actually using the word Batman before I actually met him. When I was in the military, I used to call a lot of the younger soldiers coming up. I used to call them Batman, and then right before I retired and left my last duty station, one of those same soldiers bought me like a Batman coffee mug and coffee maker. So, like I said, little does he know that I've been using Batman way before I met him. But that's probably why I decided to go with him because it was something that I was familiar with and something that I was comfortable with. All right, but anyway, enough about that. So let's talk about today about something that's holding that could be holding a lot of affiliates back. And I know I've experienced this as well in the beginning when I started going live and started doing affiliate marketing. Is not knowing what to say. Okay, so you sit down, you get ready to write a post or an email. You open up your notes app or your notebook, like I have, and you try to record a video, or you try to record a video, and then all of a sudden your brain freezes. Nothing, brain freeze, right? All right, writer's block. You want to, you want to share value, but you aren't sure of where to start, or what people will even say, or what they want to hear, or like I said, or say once you start, or the information that they're looking for. So today I kind of want to share with everyone, how you can come up with some endless content ideas that actually can connect with your audience. All right, it always goes back to your audience, and connecting with them. All right, so like I mentioned, when I started out, I used to stare at my screen, for hours and hours. Sometimes, days I would leave and come back, trying to figure out, trying to come up with something new or clever to say. I know a lot of people you've heard, don't try to reinvent the wheel. I think that's what I was stuck in. I was trying to reinvent the wheel, coming up with something awesome and new, something that no one has heard of, whatever. And then I realized that I was just overcomplicating it. I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. A lot of people like things that are simple, and I think I was trying to overcomplicate it, which made it hard for me to come up with ideas, or trying to figure out what to say. All right, so your best content does not come from you trying to sound smart, like you have a PhD or anything. It just comes from you sharing what you've learned, what you are doing, and what you have overcome. So it's basically you sharing your journey, from start to where you are currently. Okay, so if you're just starting out, just say, hey, today I'm starting out with this. Like on one of the lives I did yesterday, I did a quick video stating, something about solo ads. And what my plan was to kind of show people how I am, finding the loophole on how to actually make solo ads work for me. Um, so I'm sharing that journey with everyone. Okay, so with that, I think here's the three simple ways, or simple ideas I think, to help you to not run out of things to say. Okay, so the first thing is turn your experiences into lessons. Okay, so every time that you figure something out, you make a mistake, you have a win, then that's content because you're documenting your lessons learned. Okay, so tell your story and share what you've learned through your experiences. Okay, so always, document your journey, document the lessons that you've learned, the mistakes that you've learned, pros and cons, and and share that. All right. So again, turn your experiences into lessons. Okay. Next one is answer the questions when you answer the questions you used to ask. Okay, so think about when you first started out. Okay, what confused you the most? What did you wish someone had explained to you better, or even explained to you when you started out? Okay, by answering these questions, you connect with your audience, and then those questions could eventually, or probably, or more than likely, the same questions that your audience are having when they're starting out, or when they get to their next obstacle. Okay, so again, answer the questions that you used to ask or wish that you would have been told about. Okay, and then the third and final one is mix your teaching with telling stories. Okay, people remember stories more than they do facts. Okay, so using, say, instead of just saying use this tool, tell them why they should use this tool and how it helped you, and how it made a difference, um, you know, in your journey or in your business. Okay, and if it didn't, tell them what you tried it, it didn't work, but you found something else that actually did work. All right, so mix the teaching with the storytelling. Okay, you should always be trying to teach someone something that we've all learned something. So it's your obligation as an online marketer, as a business entrepreneur, to share your journey, what you've learned, that could eventually help someone else. Okay, so once you start doing this, then I believe those three, like I said, the last one is mixed teaching with storytelling. um, Once you start doing this, and then I believe that creating the content will become natural, because you are now just you're documenting your journey, like I mentioned earlier. Document your journey from start to where you are now, and then just not performing for the famous um, algorithm. All right, so let me ask you this: what part of creating content do you feel has been the hardest for you? All right, is it coming up with ideas, writing posts, or just feeling confident on camera? Okay, I know in the beginning when I started out, being on camera was one of the things that I had to overcome. But I know if everyone goes back to my first live I did at the beginning of the month, losing, my side hustle job, it kind of like, okay, this is the sign that you need to just, get off your ass and, do more videos, do more lives. And I've actually been having a blast with it. All right. So yeah, like I said, feel confident with you on camera. Okay. So just to recap, you already have everything that you need to create some great content. All right, you have your story, you have your lessons that you've learned, you have the pains that you've gone through and overcome, and you also have the progress that where you are right now. All right, so share those lessons, share that journey with people. Okay, just remember that the people you are meant to help do not need perfection. They don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be able to connect with them on a personal level. Okay, so share what you're learning, and growing through that, and you will never run out of things to say, things to talk about, content to create. Okay, so I hope that it helps everyone get started on Monday. Go out there, create some content for your audience. Get on camera, do a 30-second live or a 30-second video, something, just document your journey for your audience. Okay, so I will talk to everyone tomorrow. Until next